Alright, here we're reading through our YouTube ideas sheet, the next ideas for the videos upcoming. Yes, what we needed to be, we internalized that we wanted to be. Basically, that means that what our parents wanted us to be, we internalize as how we want ourselves to be. So the how you should be is how we want to be. What was expected of me, how must I not be? The child internalizes. Excuse me, please. The parental expectations. From how you should be, working very hard. The immune system is keeping up. How I want to be and how you must not be. How I want to be. YouTube idea sheet. We don't respect ourselves if we are not ourselves. What does it take to be yourself? The courage to be yourself, realizing that not being yourself does not serve anybody. The allure of power comes from the avoidance of the pain of powerlessness, of being dominated and feeling out of control. My body is my resource. Every organ, liver, the kidneys, they all have different functions and requirements as you are working organs. So I am the master of my organs and the reflection. The organ is always a reflection of the mind. Organs are resources that need to be employed like employees. In that way, everybody else of us has to set up to be a good leader, not to be healthy. You got to know your resources, you got to know the requirements, you got to take care of them, you got to do them service regardless of how you feel, because this is what leaders team, when you go get up at 5 a.m. and do paperwork, then you got to get up at 5 a.m. and do paperwork. It's like, do you love your employees and the people that you serve in the community that you can donate to? All right. Life is not for the faint of heart. Exactly. That goes into our puns for tomorrow. Faint of heart and mind, This is not for the faint of heart, but we are so kind in our heart, Hey, because the faint of heart make weak decisions, and that leads to bad repercussions in life. When you're not clear, certain that you are going to take action until you get to the outcome, then these decisions are weak and lead to inaction rather than action. And then coping with an action, coping with the thoughts of an inaction, there's always a waste of energy. You wanted to be special? Treat yourself like you are special, like you have a great responsibility, like a special man. Wanting to be special is quite normal, but being okay with being normal, being okay the way you are, that's actually truly special. In the animal kingdom, we're defying what animals do. So we say a lion kills prey, and some ants, they cut leaves and move them. These animals are defined by how they look and what they do. Their actions define them and how they look. For us as humans, our actions define how we look. When you're working part-time, entering another identity and behave and live like the person would, and what she would do all day, and you would need to accomplish each day and start living like that. With incantations, oftentimes you think, what if that becomes true? Though that we uncover the secondary gain or perception of loss that comes from the activity necessary. Well, you know what a pattern is. Even in layman psychology, we talk like that. A behavior pattern, a thought pattern. It's like a pattern on the wall. They repeat. And when they repeat, there are repercussions. And when we don't want that, we need to change the pattern. Entry-level content, the core 4 of personal development, the core 4 to live the life of your dreams. Advanced content, what is getting in the way of living the life of your dreams? Inner blockages, energetic misalignments, mindset problems. Speak your dream life into existence, backed by action. Take action and believe. Speak your dream life into existence. Sex is part of life. In fact, it gave us our life, so we can't have a seminar about life without works and how life works without talking also about sex. When you grow out of good nourishment, you produce good food. We see life like we are. Energies attract alike. Old content notes. Change doesn't happen through wanting to become something that you are not, but it happens through accepting what is right now. This is inspired by Arnold M. Beiser, Flying Without Wings. Feelings are a complex and holistic answer to the input of the world, taking many more variables into account as mental processing. The feelings we have about ourselves give us a complex answer towards which degree we are ourselves. Hopes, dreams, expectations, memories, needs, fears play into the generation of a feeling. Healing means resolving that which prevents the natural flow of energy in our system. Most physical symptoms are due to either a lack of expression or an expression of something that is not you. So the goal of healing work is that the flow of energy, focus, and work is aligned with our natural tendencies. To do that, we focus on finding the pattern, protection, prevention, providing that brings one aspect of one's life out of balance. Core beliefs have the form I will be happiest, if, and if I don't, then this happens. Core beliefs about happiness, myself, my relation to others, the world. Facebook Live video topics, 2 years of inner work broken down in 10 minutes, what you really need to find yourself. What is it that comes natural to me? What I enjoy the most? How do I want my ideal life to look like? What is my plan to make money from my passion? Different layers, like a water filter, from coarse to more fine. How to find yourself, what it means, and how to practically do it. Problems, stagnation, afraid to change, afraid of the uncertainty of the world, getting the courage to change. What are problems people struggle with before they know they are unclear about their lives? Like an example Q&A session. Do your kids don't listen? Do they have problems playing with other kids? Are they all crazy? A new environment out of the house? Their parents are nagging them. They isolate themselves and are lonely. They are frustrated and feel like not making progress. Old Facebook Live takeaways, internal reference and external reference, loss of love, first trauma, fighting shadows, the symptoms of, journal notes. As you level up, there, especially in the beginning, when you're rising out of the slump, you will have to put up with a lot of people's stuff. Not put up in the way of accepting it, but put up with as in you will invariably be exposed to it. There are outside factors that influence any endeavor, any project. Road conditions, for example, as such resources that we have to take consideration, weather conditions, seasoning conditions, and they are threats. They need to be minimized, the risk of physical harm that needs to be minimized, so they need to be found, balanced, working time manner. Every pain must be taken seriously, and there are measures to prevent accidents. Vakoji. Visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, gustatory, and intuition. Some people are constantly distracted by pains in their body. A decision not made also costs energy. When people, for example, push away pains that they have, then a part of the energy of not making the decision and finding a solution is which costs mental energy. Worrying about that is all next time lost. It is spatial, like zones of life. When you only concern yourself with yourself, your life is very small. You have very little cost of spare. The spirit with thoughts go is very small. If your thoughts continuously directed beyond yourself to the other people and your surroundings of your community, what you have is increased because your energy flow to different people. It is spatial. Yeah, exactly. It is spatial, like zones of life. Correct, yes. Florian working and celebrating time-lapse food coming on beautiful plates, show don't tell. And the desk print out a vision, good details on the short. One detail in a little different for all videos, color of the suit is differently, exactly. Fulfillment is what we are all seeking. And it comes down to living the way that you want to be living, doing what you should be doing. But I choose some more inspiring words for that. I call it living the life of your dreams. It is like a tree diagram. Where does your energy go? The three areas, positivity, belief, and friends, are adjacent to the actions because life consists of action. If you plant good seeds every day, wherever you go throughout your life, which you end up with at the end of your life with an abundance of trees or flowers or whatever you're planting? The answer is yes, and much earlier than that, than the end of your life. Planting good seeds, planting the seeds of good deeds. Life is reps, life's iterations. So you practice one thing, go a little bit further, practice another thing, and put more iterations, conscious iterations, to get better at it. The practice of life is to know what to be good at and how to get good at it, how to get results. My teaching around the inner workings of the human psyche and there the products come from, so are exciting and delivered with such enthusiasm. The people are very excited to attend the seminar. Jim Rohn said that success is something you attract, not something you pursue. The most important thing is that you hold yourself in the high vibration state and you take action. Jim Rohn says, success is something you attract, not something you pursue. It is looking for a good place to stay. The best answer comes from the highest source to me. God made life a very palpable duality. There are opposites. You have sexual urges. Time is just an emotion. I get things done quicker because I work smarter. You more, the lightheartedness and flexibility of mind is of great value in business communication, in delegation and communication, with my friends, with my partners in sales. This is one of my most important assets because it earns me respect. This is smart work. We have social energy. This is something that you can experience when you have been feeling lonely. But you remember the time in your life where you felt alone. After that, get around people you soak up and let it sink in the energy. It is like sitting on a fire after a cold night or walking through a rainstorm when you come home. That's why Tarzan screamed for manifestation purposes. I have my own Tarzan scream. Got it. Cleaning up one's mind means not like cleaning up the floor, taking away the garbage that doesn't work with the mind. You need to spend the time adding the desired on top of what happens until what you don't want to be proved all the way by the force of time and forgetfulness. Did you live like the person that you want to be so much, so intensely, that you first learn how to distinguish the new state from the old state of being and learn to see that yes, you can break character out of this negative state, and then the being in the negative state would be a breaking of character for your new state until you live there is so often that you forget when the old state was. You can always remind yourself for humility's sake, but you understand what led to it and how foolish it was not to go there again. And when you do that, you catch yourself because those pathways are still well established and they reactivate fast. So don't go there. The old determinant factor for success is belief. Believe it and feel absolutely certain that you can do it before you've actually done it. It's that the only way you get to there. I would have never thought that I could be the man that millionaires call for advice when I was still living in a place full of cockroaches. I knew deep inside I had the potential. I believed to myself that I had what it takes to get there. But at this point, I did not believe that I am there yet. But you need to believe that you were there already. Now that you are good enough and believe that so much that every day is the day is rolled by you, take actions in congruence that you believe and live like the person that you want to become exactly. No belief can be applied in very life-changing events. If you want to change your life like that, but it can also be applied to just get to the next goal or cleaning up your life. You don't need to be living in suffering, but it takes to believe that you can get out of it and that you can live a life of joy and happiness and peace and celebration in 2024. That takes the first. You got absolutely certain that you have what it takes and that you can get there, and then live every day congruent with that. Don't do things that disturb your peace, especially to yourself, starting with the mind and what you say to yourself, especially before you go to sleep. Memento mori, remember that you will die. No, rather I say memento moriendo, remember to die. The colors of the cheeseburger or the celestial colors of a higher state of being. What is the content of our consciousness? You learn in life what things are important to you, when to prioritize the things that are important to you, and when to prioritize the things that you need to do. You learn to distinguish pure thinking from ego thinking. How are you? Do anything is how that we do everything. Every action is reflective of your standard, and most actions are just another variation of another action. There are only so many actions that we take in life. Cleaning up, that can be your bathroom, your business process, communication, resting, eating. When we go through an identity shift, old patterns show up, sometimes even more presents or more intensely because of the underlying fear of not getting any more what we used to get with this behavior. For example, when I changed my speaking patterns, I realized that the old speaking patterns would show up. How I talk, like I would in college with my friends when I was a teenager, then I carried along unconsciously and used to give me connection and appreciation from my friends and respect, and they show up so that the fear can be looked at. This is cleansing the crosses. Page 10. Alright here, that's easy.